Deep within the heart of ancient Egypt, where the sands of time eternally shift, there existed a pantheon of gods and goddesses, each playing their part in the intricate tapestry of human destiny. Among them, one figure stood out, shrouded in mystery and power. He was Anubis, the god of mummification, whose very name echoed the secrets of the afterlife. But who really was Anubis? What were his origins and powers? And how did he shape the beliefs of one of the world's most fascinating civilizations? Prepare to delve into the depths of Egyptian mythology as we uncover the truth about Anubis. Our journey begins at the dawn of Egyptian civilization, a time when the pharaohs were considered divine and the Nile River was revered as the lifeblood of the land. In these early days, the Egyptians didn't have a clear concept of an afterlife, but they did have a deep reverence for their ancestors. As they began to explore the mysteries of death, they encountered a natural phenomenon that left them puzzled: the preservation of bodies in the desert sands. It was this phenomenon that led them to believe that the body could somehow be preserved, allowing the soul to continue its journey into the afterlife. And so mummification was born, a complex and sacred process designed not just to honor the dead, but to ensure their safe passage to the next world. But the Egyptians didn't undertake this practice alone. They had a guide, a deity who oversaw the entire process and ensured that the deceased were well prepared for their final journey. This being was Anubis, and his name itself held the key to understanding his role. You see, Anubis wasn't always depicted with the head of a man. In fact, his earliest appearances in Egyptian mythology show him with the head of a jackal, a scavenger animal that was often seen around human settlements. This wasn't a random choice. The Egyptians believed that jackals were intelligent creatures who understood human behavior and were even capable of speech. Moreover, they observed that jackals were often found near tombs, as if drawn to the sanctity of the place. All of these characteristics aligned with the role that Anubis was destined to play, a guide and protector of the dead. Anubis wasn't just a god of mummification, though. He was also considered the guardian of the dead, a role that took on even greater significance during the journey through the underworld. The Egyptians believed that after a person died, their soul had to undergo a series of trials before entering the field of reeds, a paradise-like afterlife reserved for the righteous. One of the most crucial trials was the weighing of the heart ceremony, where the deceased's heart was placed on one side of a scale and the feather of truth on the other. If the heart, representing the person's earthly deeds, was lighter than the feather, they were deemed worthy and allowed to pass. But if their heart was heavier, they were considered guilty of sins and condemned to an eternity in the underworld. Anubis played a vital role in this ceremony, ensuring that the heart was correctly weighed and that the balance remained undisturbed. However, despite his importance, Anubis's origins remain shrouded in mystery. There are no surviving texts that explicitly detail his birth or parentage, leaving scholars to piece together his genealogy through examining various myths and legends. Most accounts agree that he was the son of the earth god Geb and the sky goddess Nut, making him the brother of Osiris, the god of the underworld, and Isis, the goddess of magic and motherhood. However, some sources claim that Anubis was the son of Ra, the sun god, or Set, the god of chaos. These conflicting accounts may seem confusing, but they actually highlight the fluid nature of Egyptian mythology, which allowed for multiple versions of myths to coexist. It's important to note that the Egyptians didn't view their gods as static beings, but rather as dynamic forces of nature that could take on different forms and embody multiple aspects. For example, Anubis wasn't just a guide for the dead, but was also associated with protecting travelers, guiding lost souls, and even assisting in healing. This multifaceted nature of the gods is a key theme in Egyptian religion and reflects the complexity of the world that the Egyptians sought to understand. As the centuries passed, Anubis's role in Egyptian society continued to evolve. During the Old Kingdom period, he was one of the most widely venerated deities, with temples dedicated to him in cities throughout Egypt. People would visit these temples to seek his guidance and protection, not just for themselves, but for their deceased loved ones as well. The priests of Anubis were responsible for overseeing the mummification process and ensuring that it was carried out correctly. Any mistake could have serious consequences, as it could prevent the soul from entering the afterlife peacefully. However, during the New Kingdom period, Osiris began to take on a more prominent role in Egyptian mythology. As the cult of Osiris grew in popularity, Anubis's prominence somewhat diminished, although he was still revered and respected. This shift in power is evident in the artwork depicting the two gods, as Osiris was often shown with greater grandeur and importance. Despite this change, Anubis continued to be called upon for assistance during the mummification process, and his image was still present in many tombs and funerary temples. But what made Anubis so appealing to the ancient Egyptians? What did he represent to them on a deeper, more symbolic level? To answer this question, we must delve into the core beliefs of Egyptian religion, a system of thought that was deeply rooted in the natural world. The Egyptians weren't just curious about the afterlife. They wanted to understand the process of death and what came after. They saw death not as an end, but as a transition, a doorway to another realm of existence. And Anubis was the guide who helped them navigate this journey. His association with jackals wasn't just a symbolic representation of scavengers, but reflected their belief that the dead could be preserved in the same way that jackals could preserve their bodies through the act of mummification. This belief was central to their culture and gave rise to some of the most intricate and awe-inspiring archaeological finds, such as the famous mummy of Tutankhamun. In modern times, Anubis continues to capture our imagination. He has appeared in countless books, movies, and video games, often portrayed as a mysterious and enigmatic figure who can help the living connect with the dead. This fascination with Anubis reflects our own desire to understand the afterlife and the journey of the soul. We may not have all the answers, but the story of Anubis reminds us that the mysteries of life and death are intricately connected, and that the journey of the soul is a timeless tale that will continue to captivate humanity for generations to come. So, the next time you find yourself in the presence of Anubis, whether in a museum, a book, or a video game, take a moment to appreciate the rich history and cultural significance that this enigmatic god brings with him. His story is a testament to the power of belief and the enduring mysteries of the human experience. And with that, we reach the end of our journey into the heart of Egyptian mythology. We've explored the origins and evolution of Anubis, the god of mummification, and uncovered the secrets of his role in the intricate tapestry of Egyptian religious beliefs. But the story of Anubis isn't just a relic of the past. It's a reflection of our own humanity, our curiosity about the afterlife, our desire to understand death, and our fascination with the unknown. Throughout our exploration of Anubis, we've seen how the ancient Egyptians viewed death as a transition, a journey of the soul that required guidance and protection. We've witnessed the meticulous process of mummification, which was not just a means of preserving the body, but also a way of ensuring the safe passage of the soul into the afterlife. And we've discovered how Anubis, with his connection to jackals, his role as a guide, and his association with the underworld, embodied the essence of this journey. But now it's time to hear from you, our viewers. What did you find most fascinating about Anubis, the god of mummification? Did his origins, his powers, or his role in Egyptian society captivate your imagination? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Your insights and perspectives are what make our journey through mythology so enriching. Before we part ways, I want to send a special shout-out to our supporters. Your support allows us to bring these captivating stories to a wider audience and keep the spirit of mythology alive. If you too would like to support our channel and be part of our community, please consider supporting us. As we bid farewell to Anubis, remember that the secrets of the gods are endless, and this is just the beginning. Join us on our upcoming adventures through the realms of mythology, where we'll continue to uncover the hidden stories that shape our world. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the shadows and secrets of Anubis. Until next time, may your path be filled with wonder and your spirits be ever curious.